So we got to talk about Jasmine Crash Out Crockett because she is absolutely cooked. She is toast because not only is she receiving backlash from the American public, but she's also receiving pushback from her own party. If you guys remember, actually, I talked about that. It's quite a while ago, actually. Yeah, quite a while ago. She was trying to run to be the leader in the committee, and her own party was like, oh no, you are not going to be chairman of this committee. And not only that, but Texas is redistricting, and Jasmine Crockett is one of the seats that's on the chopping block. With that being said, let's dive in.
Back to the Black Truth Challenge. Next up, Jasmine Crockett. By popular demand, Jasmine Crockett. People sent you to Washington to do the bidding of the people in your district. But all you seem to do is be focused on putting your name in lights. Maybe getting a gig on SNL. But it's not about the people who are suffering and struggling in your own district. Remember them? Jasmine Crockett's focused on two things: knocking Trump and clout. And not necessarily in that order. Jasmine Crockett, you claim to fight for black communities. Why aren't you doing that instead of chasing clout? Tag someone else with the Black Truth Challenge. Let's make this trend. Jasmine Crockett, the clock's ticking. What's your answer? You hear us. Who's next? Tim Black Show. Out.
He makes a great point. She is all about clout and clicks. As a matter of fact, I believe there was a report where she bragged about her social media following. Like, what does your social media following have to do with politics? You know, it's just, I can't wait to be unburdened by what has been when it comes to Jasmine Crockett. She is absolutely done. And you know, this woman, sometimes when you just let people speak, they'll actually tell you the truth if you just sit back and listen and just let them talk. Check out what Jasmine Crockett actually slipped up and said one day recently.
And all right, let's just cut the crap, okay? Jasmine Crockett is not a leader. And the rejection that she just caught from her Democrat overlords proves it. She's a Marxist-minded, melanated puppet. Yes, I said it. And the hands that are pulling the strings, it's a bunch of freak, nasty, diddy crap billionaires that use black faces to protect white liberal power. So if you're a Democrat and you think that your vote matters more than their money, yeah, you've already been played, because this is not politics. This is something else. What you need to understand is that Democrats don't pick black leaders. They purchase them. And the price, sometimes it don't even cost that much, but usually the silence is the price, because they're silent on faith, family, education, safety, and especially silent on economic freedom. So Jasmine Crockett, she isn't serving her community. She's serving the donor class. And you are about to listen to her tell you herself who she's in bed with. You're not watching representation. You're watching a political slave auction funded by dark money and sealed with a whole lot of betrayal. So welcome to the new era of plantation management. And guess who's the product? You are. And it's about time that we stop sipping on the Kool-Aid that these darn Democrats keep pouring. And instead, it is time that we actually analyze what the heck is in it. So today, we're going to be tackling something that should have been exposed years ago. Recently, a Democrat she just decided to say it out loud. And it wasn't just any Democrat. It was the Democrat darling. Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. It was everyone's favorite DNC sock puppet in an ugly lace front wig. Actually, she got a new wig this time, but she still got the caterpillar lashes. It was none other than Jasmine Crockett. Yes, the Texas lace front butterfly lash bandit herself got up in front of a camera during a press conference and admitted without shame, without a stutter, that dark money is how the Democrats plan to stay in power. Like, she said it, and I said, oh, wow, she really said this out loud. Now, she's able to say this not because it's what Democrats plan to do. No, dark money is how she got elected, and it's been their plan for the last few years. They've been doing this already. This is why, no matter how unpopular those Diddycrat ideas and policies are, Democrats will not abandon them because, one, they have to push whatever their freak nasty Diddycrat donor class wants to.
Spoken facts. Spoken facts. Jasmine Crockett admitted to receiving dark money, and if you don't believe me, here it is. I wanna pull that up because she didn't show it in there. I thought she did, but I'm gonna pull it up real quick because it is absolutely crazy that she admitted to it live on camera.
There are donors that I'm sure are going to be willing to make sure that they are investing and making sure that they can take down some of these candidates. Since they don't want to rule out dark money, I'm sure some dark money gonna pour in on the behalf of the American people. So what I am saying is every tactic, as well as making sure we're touching people.
Yeah, so dark money. I think she realized what she actually said. And well, on behalf of the American people. What? How does that even make sense?
Oh, how noble and sacrificial of her. Which is the real Jasmine Crockett, though? Well, the call for public service came and Jasmine answered. But back to that Atlantic profile, they saw something else in Crockett, a raging narcissism. And for a woman who claims to be so tough, she has exceedingly thin skin. They described her as highly conscious of her self-presentation. Crockett wore acrylic nails painted with the word resist and a set of heavy lashes over her brown eyes. The lock screen on her phone is a headshot of herself. And Crockett apparently thinks she should be able to control to whom a journalist speaks when they're actually reporting a profile. 4 days before this story was published, Crockett called me to express frustration that I'd reached out to so many House members without telling her first. She told me, shutting down the profile and revoking all permissions. Yeah. And yet another gem that speaks to Crockett's highly racialized view of the world. From the same profile, Crockett said that Hispanic Trump supporters had almost like a slave mentality. I asked Crockett whether she had ever regrets about her public comments. She raised her eyebrows and replied, "I don't second guess." You know how that ends. Well, bless her heart. Now, she may be a...
Exposed. Absolutely getting exposed. But not even just there. Jasmine Crockett is getting exposed everywhere. And if you don't believe me, check out her getting caught in the lie by Maze Moore.
I had a great background as it relates to my ability to deal with numbers, and it was going to pay well. So I was like, I'll be an accountant. Unfortunately, around my junior year, I was the victim of a hate crime or two. And so were a group of my friends, all at the same time. Cars were keyed with the N-word. We received hate mail in our on-campus mailboxes. And at that time, my school hired the Cochran firm. And there was a lawyer who graduated from University of Houston who was assigned to me. And it was the first time in my life that I felt helpless. And I was like, I want to help people that are going through what I've just experienced. And at that point in time, I decided that I was going to sit for the LSAT. I did Little Shop of Horrors. So when I was in college at Rhodes in Memphis, I ended up doing Little Shop of Horrors.
What part did you play in that?
I was one of the women that was singing.
Okay.
Yes, I was in the chorus.
Okay.
And so I ended up doing it, and the mock trial coach recruited me to do mock trial. And I was like, no. By this time, I decided I was going to be an accountant. Didn't want to do anesthesia no more. Still didn't want to talk to people. So then he goes, no, you should do mock trial. And I said, that's for the kids going to law school. Long story short, he recruits me. I do mock trial just my senior year. I become a national All-American. He says, you should go to law school. So I applied, got a full ride, and said, fine, if I don't like it, I'll quit.
So which one is it? Did you get into law because of a racial incident, or did you get into law because of someone telling you to do a mock trial? Like, I'm confused. The lies. And that's the thing about lying. You know, if you lie, you have to maintain the same lie all the way through. Because if you don't, then people can expose you with videos, right? It's better off to just tell the truth. But of course, Democrats can't just do that. Now let's move on to Jasmine Crockett's biggest foe, and that is Texas legislature, because there's some redistricting that is about to happen. And this is what Jasmine Crockett has to say about it.
I know that this legislature did ask us as members of Congress to confirm our addresses. I don't know how many of us actually still reside in the districts that we represent. I do not currently reside in my district based upon the plan that has been drawn, which is another red flag, in addition to courts consistently looking at how many people have been moved. But I know that
I want y'all to understand. The Texas just redrew their districts, and they drew out the map that they passed doesn't have Jasmine Crockett in her own district that she represents. They drew her out of her own district. Now that is absolutely hilarious. Here's another clip of her talking about it as well.
I don't think that it's an accident that Donald Trump picked up the phone, called down to Texas, told Abbott what he was going to do, and like a small, ridiculous child, he just fell in order. I don't think any of that was an accident. But what I can tell you is that we will not be an accident. We, the people of Texas, will be very intentional about making sure that they hear us, about making sure that we call them out for what they're doing. This is racist, what they are doing. Let me hear you. That is coming up with policies that will help all people, no matter what their ethnic background. They have decided, never mind, we want to dilute the voices of black and brown. Well, I got news for you. In this state, the majority is black, brown, and Asian. We will not sit idly by while a wannabe dictator decides that he's going to silence us.
While a wannabe dictator decides he's going to silence us. Well, Jasmine Crockett, you've been silenced. You're cooked. You're not even in your own district anymore. Sounds like one of your seats was one of the 5 seats that Republicans are looking to gain. Bye-bye. Here's the possible replacement for Jasmine Crockett, and we'll end it with this. Sheldon Daniels. Get familiar with this name, ladies and gentlemen. He may be Jasmine Crockett's replacement.
Hey, I'm Sheldon Daniels, Republican candidate for Texas's 30th Congressional District. Let's set the record straight on something I keep hearing from Jasmine Crash Out Crockett and her media friends. It's this wild idea that Republican redistricting is somehow about diluting minority voices, when the crazy thing is, you know what's funny? The very district she represents, TX30, our district, was created by Democrats through racial gerrymandering. That is not speculation, that is historical fact. Back in '91, the legislature, entirely controlled by Democrats, drew TX30 after the census. On the surface, they claimed it was to empower black voters, but dig deeper and you'll find the real reason why they did it. It was designed to isolate black voters, to pack them into a single district so that the white Democrats in the surrounding districts wouldn't face organic primary challengers from like these rising black leaders. It was about control and power. It wasn't about sharing it. TX30 was never drawn to give people more choice. It was drawn to give politicians, career politicians, more security. So when Jasmine Crockett screams racism at the new map, she's completely ignoring the fact that her entire seat was born from that very same political game. So let me be clear, since she likes to say that, I support redistricting because Texas law allows it when the population shifts, when the voting trends demand it, and not just every 10 years. Article 3, Section 28, and the truth is TX30 has changed. You know, there are more people, it's more diverse, the needs are greater, the voices are louder, a lot more conservatives. And so this isn't really about race, it's really about fairness. It's not fair that the conservatives have nobody. Fair maps, everybody's vote is the same. That's what we want. And so, to be honest, if your political survival depends on a map that was drawn 30 years ago to lock people in and shut out others, maybe it's time for you to go. maybe it's time for you to go. So I'm Sheldon Daniels. I'm fighting to return power to you, to the people, to the voters of this district, and to Americans, not to the political class. And so I'm asking you, let's win this thing together. Please visit my website, danielsforus.com, and let's keep this thing going. Jasmine Crockett for they, them. Sheldon Daniels is for you.
Jasmine Crockett for they, them, and Sheldon Daniels is for you. I love it. That's a nod to Trump's campaign ad that he ran against Kamala. That was absolutely successful when he ran that. DanielsForUs.com. Shout out to Sheldon Daniels, man. I hope he does replace Jasmine Crash Out Crockett. I can't wait to get rid of her. And along with some other Democrats as well, but Jasmine Crockett will be a massive win to get her up out of there. I'm sick of Jasmine Crockett, bro. The whole show and the charades and all the extra stuff. Yeah, get her out of there, coach. Get her out of there. And I think it's about to happen. So Jasmine Crockett is absolutely cooked, and I guess we'll wait to find out who's next. All right. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Make sure you hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps out tremendously. I know it's something small, but it really does help out. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.